Here's 12 points about your child returning to school during the continuing emergency COVID-19 health pandemic. Point 1. Schools will expect all children to attend school and attend all their classes during the academic year. This may change if there is government regulation closing schools for all but some children as before, if there is a second wave of COVID-19. Point 2. The government guidance makes it clear that school attendance will be mandatory from the beginning of the new academic year. Point 3. This means if your child is missing from school without good reason, you as a parent carer could be fined or prosecuted. Your local council can give each parent carer a fine of £60, which rises to £120 each if you do not pay within 21 days. If you do not pay the fine after 28 days, you may be prosecuted for your child's absence from school. If your case gets to court, you could get a fine of up to a maximum of £2,500, or a community order, or a jail sentence up to 3 months. The court can also give you a parenting order. Point 4. This is why if your child has found lockdown particularly difficult, or you have particular concerns, then it is very important to evidence this if possible via a GP note and discuss your concerns with the school. The school may advise a phased return for your child or reassure you and your child that they have in place measures to reduce the risk of COVID-19. Point 5. There are children who, according to government guidance, should not attend school. These children are self-isolating because they have symptoms of COVID-19, or they have tested positive for COVID-19, or they are a close contact of someone who has COVID-19 or symptoms of COVID-19, or they have returned from abroad from a designated country, which means your child should be self-isolating. In these circumstances, your child's school should provide remote education, so please ask the school for it, so your child doesn't lose out on vital education and they don't fall behind. Point 6. Your child's school will prepare a risk assessment containing all the precautionary measures in place and which should be published on the school's website. These precautionary measures would include signs and posters to remind pupils and staff to wash hands regularly and to promote the catch it, bin it, kill it approach to ensure good respiratory hygiene. And the precautionary measures could also include enhanced cleaning regime to include cleaning frequently touched surfaces more often and teachers outside to marshal pupils in and out of school so social distancing is maintained within the school grounds. Point 7. In addition, your child should expect to stay within the specified classes or year groups, creating class and year bubbles to avoid mixing with other classes and year groups where practicable. Point 8. When it comes to face coverings in England, the government has announced that staff and children in year 7 and above, in quotes, while the government is not recommending face coverings are necessary, schools will have the discretion to require face coverings in communal areas if they believe that it is right in their particular circumstances. The government continues to say that in areas of national government intervention, the government's guidance will state face coverings should be worn by adults and pupils in secondary schools when moving around the schools, such as in corridors and communal areas where social distances is difficult to maintain. It will not be necessary to wear face coverings in the classroom, where protective measures already mean the risks are lower and where they can inhibit learning. Remember, if your child is exempt from wearing a face covering, for example because of an underlying health condition, please notify the school and consider your child carrying an exemption card or badge. And also, according to government announcements, remember also face coverings are not required by children attending primary schools. Point 9. Schools are expected to continue to provide a broad curriculum in all subjects as before. However, the government guidance says there may need to be changes to some subjects such as PE and music so that schools can teach these subjects as safely as possible. Point 10. Expect the school to clamp down on any misbehaviour likely to increase the risk of the transmission of COVID-19, such as purposefully coughing or spitting at another pupil or teacher, throwing rubbish in the corridor, or purposefully not socially distancing with others despite previously being warned. Point 11. If your child is unwell at school, they should be taken to a well-ventilated room for pickup by you if your child has recognised symptoms such as a new persistent cough, According to government guidance, your child should self-isolate for 10 days and you and the rest of your household should begin self-isolating for 14 days. Please read the government guidance carefully on who should be self-isolating and for how long. Expect a call from NHS Test and Trace to identify any other persons your child has been in contact with. You should also arrange for a test for COVID-19, and if your child cannot cope with their symptoms, call NHS 111 immediately. Point 12. Where there is a confirmed case of COVID-19 or 2 or more confirmed cases of COVID-19 within 14 days, defined as an outbreak, or a suspected case of COVID-19 due to a number of pupils' absences, expect the school to report their findings to local public health officers to seek advice as to what steps, if any, to take. In certain circumstances, this public health advice may be to suspend a class, or to suspend a year group from attending the school, or to close the school building altogether. In these circumstances, the advice will also be given for appropriate classes and year groups to self-isolate and or get tested if appropriate. You should be notified in writing of what the school's decision is and the steps you as a parent carer advised to take on behalf of your child by the school in conjunction with public health. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to Community Legal Education to be the first to watch our groundbreaking series on emergency coronavirus laws and on other topics. Stay safe and may the justice be with you.